Is the SP-404 Mark II a good first device? I'm going to give you my thoughts as soon as I shout out today's patron, and that shout out goes to Make Mistakes. Thank you so very much for the support. Let's get started. So even though the Roland SP-404 Mark II is over 4 years old at this point, it still remains extremely relevant in the hardware world of electronic music gear, and it's not really hard to see why. At its core, it's a sampler, but it gives you 16 different projects. Each of those projects can have 160 different samples across 10 banks. Each sample can be up to 16 minutes long. It's also got a pattern sequencer, and each project can have up to 160 patterns, and each pattern can be up to 64 measures. Not steps, 64 measures long. It's got more effects than anyone would know what to do with. You can resample those effects to your samples easily. Speaking of mangling your samples, it's got time stretching. It's got pitching up and pitching down. You can reverse them just with the press of a button. You can loop them. You can gate them. There's BPM sync. There's skip back sampling. So you're always recording. You'll never miss a happy accident ever again. On top of that, you've also got a pair of stereo inputs on the back for sampling, but also a guitar/bass/microphone input on the front. All of those can also be ran directly through the effects. It's got a tone generator, it's got a looper, and something called DJ mode that I have actually never used before. I don't even really know how it works or what exactly it does. And to top it all off, for all this functionality, it's got an extremely aggressive price point. With the holidays approaching, I've seen these drop as low as $430 brand new, which in 2025 is crazy. If you're looking to buy used, I've actually seen them drop below $300 down to the high 200s, which, yeah, again, that's just a wild value. Now, while the sampling and resampling workflow is easy to get into, you can get really deep with this thing, and that involves things like memorizing a bunch of different button combinations and remembering exactly where certain menus are. It can be very complicated. However, because of the aggressive price point and the sheer versatility and wide variety of features, I've often seen it debated if the 404 Mark II is a good first purchase for someone who's brand new and just looking to get into electronic music making. And my take on it is, well, it depends. And I know that's kind of obvious, but let's lean in and look at what it actually depends on. See, if you want to get into primarily making electronic music with samples and sort of the traditional sampling method, where you're sampling other people's songs and other people's beats, and then you're chopping those samples up and flipping them around and reversing them and pitching them all over the place and affecting them and basically, messing with them until they're unrecognizable and your own entire thing, then not only do I think that the SP-404 Mark II is an insanely good first purchase, I additionally think that if you have a smartphone that can send out audio over USB, that the SP-404 Mark II might be the only piece of electronic music gear you need to buy. It's that good if you're looking to make sample-based music in that more traditional format. And the reason being is that the 404 Mark II can actually do audio over USB. So you could just pull up YouTube on your phone. In this case, we're going to use a video from this idiot called Freebeat. And you can simply plug in the USB Type-C to the back of the 404, enable external source here, and let's have a listen. Today's patron shoutout goes to Don Tomato. Thank you so very much for the support. I can just sample it directly. And just like that, I've got a sample. I can go in and start adjusting my in and out point. We'll truncate that, normalize it, loop it, gate. There we go. Now we've got a loop going, just like that. Of course, I can also go in and chop this up. We can just auto do it here. Just like that, we're off and running, right? It's that easy. All of a sudden, the entire internet is your sample source, just with a mobile device that can do audio over USB, a cable, and an SP-404 Mark II. This could literally be all you need. Not to mention the fact that the mobile app Koala Sampler actually has some integration with the 404, and you can control Koala Sampler with the 404 pads, and you can, sling samples between them. It's pretty cool. This is a great first piece of gear if you're looking to take other people's music and beats and flip them and make them your own. I think this is really all you need. I think it's perfect. However, if you're looking to make electronic music by making your own synth sounds and drum sounds and more traditionally playing them, then I don't think the 404 Mark II is a good first purchase. Instead, I would recommend picking up a synthesizer or a drum machine as your first purchase, and then learning the ins and outs of it and just mastering every aspect of that device first. This is my Arturia Microfreak, one of my absolute favorite synthesizers I've ever owned. And it's a device that I feel like I know pretty well. And that's where I recommend you get with a synthesizer before you pick up the SP-404 Mark II. See if you're looking to make music via more traditional just playing. The SP-404 Mark II, like I said, is not an ideal first choice of gear. However, it is almost perfect for a second or third piece of gear. And that's because of how easy the sampling workflow is. It allows you to just kind of play parts on the synthesizer or drum machine that you've got. And that's how you can compose your music. It works really, really well. Not to mention you then all of a sudden have all of the effects. And let me tell you, there's nothing cooler than thinking you know a piece of gear inside and out, and then adding this huge list of effects that the 404 has to that gear. It's crazy. Obviously that was pretty bad, but I'm trying to operate on the spot on camera here. Possibilities are very clearly here. And of course, you can do the same exact thing with a drum machine. You could just sample the individual drums into the 404, or we can even take our phone loop here and copy it a couple times. Now check this out. Okay, we'll truncate that. You can put a little envelope on it. Okay, now we'll grab a snare drum on the second one here. And then you guessed it, we'll grab a hi-hat right here. Go to bus 2, which by the way, you do get 2 effects buses. Now we're just jamming with our drums. And we could even hit mark and go back and re-listen to what we played on here. I actually have the skip back sampling set to only listen to an external source right now. So check this out. Now we have our entire last, I don't know, like 45 seconds or so of what we jammed on. And just like we chopped up the other samples, I can go in and listen to this and chop it up and, fine tune it. And if I hit record, I can even put it on an empty pad. And of course, I could also turn this into a proper loop, reverse it, put some cloud delay on it. We can play that again and resample it. And now that we have it resampled, we could put some reverb on it. And then we could, of course, resample that. There's just so much you can do. So yeah, in my opinion, it really depends on what and how you want to make your music. If you're looking for just traditional sampling other people's beats and songs and chopping them, flipping them, turning them into your own thing, I don't really think you need anything other than the SP-404 Mark II. I think this is pretty much your end game. Like I said, as long as you have a phone or something, of course, you could always get like a record player or something like that too. You've got the stereo in pair on the back there. You've also got the guitar/bass/microphone input on the front. But yeah, really just paired up with a phone for audio over USB, just go for it. You've literally got the entirety of the internet right there to sample. But if you are looking to play more instrument-style electronic music, then I recommend picking up a synth or a drum machine or one of both first, learning the ins and outs of those pieces of gear, and then adding the 404 Mark II into your setup. Even if you're not necessarily looking to be a sample-based musician, just the ability to record parts to pads and then experiment with them by combining them into different places. You do have a full pattern sequencer as well. So I could have gone in and properly sequenced a full drum pattern. That's super easy to do. Let's do that right now really quick. Why not? Put it right here. We'll just say 1 bar long. That's fine. We'll go TR sequencing. We'll increase our tempo here. And yeah, let's hit record. Now I can pick the sound I want. And you do have per step modifiers pretty much here. You can also change the pitch chromatically. Yeah, super cool. But what's cool is the effects still affect it. So if I trigger it as a pattern, go back out of the pattern, and go to bus 2 where my drum sounds are. Awesome. Somehow, despite where everything is price-wise in this crazy world, the 404 Mark II is still pretty much holding where it launched at price-wise, in some cases cheaper, and the used market on these is just a steal right now. So if you're on the fence about getting into electronic music, depending on how you want to work with it, the 404 Mark II can be a great first purchase. And I think it's just a great addition to any musician's arsenal, even if you're not really into electronic music. It's a great way to mess with what you've already got. I do hope you found this video informative or at least entertaining. If you did, be sure to leave a like on it. If not, you can always hit that dislike button. That's okay too. Doesn't hurt my feelings, just makes me try that much harder next time. Either way, be sure to hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell. Thank you all so very much for being here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.